Hey YouTubers, this is your boy Amari Points here, bringing you the latest movie review. Today I'm doing my movie review on Toy Story 4. I saw this yesterday with my best friend and let me tell you, I loved it. Best way to wrap up the Toy Story franchise. There was a lot of tears shedding in my theater, even myself. I was crying like a baby. And as most of you know, this takes place practically a year after the original Toy Story, I believe. And Bonnie is going into kindergarten now. And she makes this little toy called Forky, who happens to be the most important thing to her now. Woody Woody is not really the most important thing to her at the moment because she only has eyes for Forky, and little does he know, they go on a family road trip, and as most of you saw, Forky like jumps out the window, and he really doesn't want to be Bonnie's toy. And let me tell you, that Forky, at first I wasn't really digging him at first during the movie, but as the movie progressed, I started like caring about him, and we also get reunited with none other than Bo Peep, who's been on her own for practically 9 years now. She doesn't have an owner. She has no owner, and at the beginning of the movie, you'll see what happened to her. I can't really go into details of what happened because I want you guys to see this movie for yourself and see what I'm talking about. Also, we get to see a lot of new toys and faces in this movie, such as Gabby Gabby, a doll who doesn't have a voice box. But as the movie progresses, you'll see why she wants one, and her little like henchmen that looked like a bunch of like a bunch of Chucky dolls. That was literally scaring the crap out of me throughout the whole movie. And really, who wouldn't it scare? I mean, that was legit. They are legit scary, as most of you saw. And Bo Peep, like I said, Bo Peep and Woody are reunited, and it was just a touching reunion to see Bo Peep in this one because we didn't really see her in the third one, and you'll know why we didn't see her when you go see the movie for yourself. Also, what else I can tell you is that this really is one of my favorite Toy Story films of all time. I loved how it looked so real and brought like a real nostalgia to all the people who've seen this movie. And Bo tries to convince him like there's more to life than just being somebody else's toy. There are tons of other kids out in the world that need toys. And let me tell you, I myself was just enjoying this movie all the way through. I loved all the funny moments in this movie, especially with Ducky and Bunny played by Key and Peele. You all know them, Key and Peele. They were just great characters in this movie. And they had a lot of funny moments as well, which I started cracking up to. And they were just, I had no words to describe how funny they were. They were just straight off the map funny. And Doom Kaboom, played by none other than Keanu Reeves. This is the year for Keanu, for sure. He is just, his character is one of those 70s/80 toys whose owner really didn't want him anymore because he didn't do like the stunts that he saw on TV. And sorry if I'm spoiling it for you guys. I am truly sorry. And well, he ends up at the antique store along with Bo, who really didn't need to be there. I'm sorry if I'm really out of it today, guys. Again, let me get to the point. This movie, I think, for the people who love Toy Story, I think you'll love this one, especially the ending. I am not gonna say what happens at the ending. No, just no. I am not saying anything because the ending was tear jerking. I myself literally cried at the ending because it was just that emotional, and it was just sad to it was just sad to see. And all in all, I really enjoyed this movie. It had a few serious moments and a few mixed with some humor and along with some sad moments as well. I really think this is a good way to wrap up this Toy Story franchise. Thank you, Pixar, again for the great memories. This movie, I really hope everyone will go see and have just a really fun time with it, because this is just something. This is just one of those Pixar movies that has been with us for a long time, and if you don't go see it, well, what are you waiting for? Go see it. Yeah. So yeah, you are definitely going to not want to miss this one, because this one I think will be nominated for an Oscar for sure because of all the great moments in this movie and the effects, the graphics and everything. They looked like they were really real. It made you think if it was real or anime movie. I thought it was definitely an anime movie, but the graphics and everything looks so real because it's a whole lot different from the past Toy Story movies that we've seen in the past. It made you really feel like you were watching the movie along, being along for the ride, which you were. But still, Tim Allen as Buzz, he really wasn't into this movie much. As for the rest of the original Toy Story game, they were just benched. They were really benched. They really weren't that useful at all. They were just side characters. They really weren't in the movie that much because, well, I guess they didn't really. I guess they really didn't think it was more focused on them. It was basically focused on Woody and everything because he wants to protect Forky, and he thinks this is the only thing he can do, which it's not. Like I said, Bo believes that Woody can do so much more with his life, and she's trying to convince him that there's other toys out there that really need his help, and that his role of being Bonnie's toy is practically done, and being there for a kid as well. And that is something you will really cry on, for sure. And on to the positives and negatives. First off, the positives, as always, we get to see new characters in this movie, such as Gabby Gabby and her other toys, like, and her a bunch of new toys. Sorry if I'm mumbling a lot, guys. And a bunch of other toys, like I mentioned earlier, Ducky and Bunny and those little puppets and everything, which still creeps me out. They really do. And I think it was a great addition to this new movie because we're seeing new characters and seeing, excuse me, a lot of old faces too, which is pretty good, if I do say so myself. Because what I can tell you is that we're going to be seeing a lot of new and old faces in this movie. And trust me, you'll have a good time seeing these new characters and just going along for the ride. And another positive is the story and the graphics. Yes, this story was something I just really enjoyed. I was having a fun time along with my best friend, and we were both having a good time laughing at the moment in this movie. along with crying as well. I myself, like I told you, was crying like a baby, which because it was that emotional. And the graphics in this movie were just spot on. It looks like it was something that was happening in real life, but instead, it wasn't. It was still the animated Toy Story that we know and love. And what else I can tell you, another positive, is that if you're a Pixar fan, go see this movie. And just enjoy it, because this movie will be the last one in the franchise, and we'll be able to share this with future generations and tell them how great of a movie that Toy Story 4 was. That is my one positive. That is another positive I have. And on to the negatives. The only one negative, actually two negatives. Two negatives. The first negative is Forky, who was always trying to like escape from Bonnie. I thought he was just kind of getting annoying at doing that at first, but he realizes that Bonnie cares so much about him that he should stay with her, which is a really good thing. I just really thought he would stop trying to get rid of himself, though. That was just one of the huge negatives. Another negative is that the characters, the characters in this movie, the original Toy Story game, they were just put off to the side. They weren't really in the movie that much. I wish they put them in the movie more instead of just benching them, because it's Toy Story is all about the toys instead of just having Woody being the main character in this movie that just basically focused on. It would have been nice if they just focused on all the toys, not focused on all the toys, such as Bonnie's toys, Jessie, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, and the rest of them. That would have been nice if they just put them in the movie more, because that's just not fair how they made Woody the main protagonist for this movie instead of just making it all about the rest of the toys. And that's it for my positives and negatives, and on to the rating. I give Toy Story 4 a solid A, because this movie was a great way to wrap up this franchise, and it's one of those heartwarming movies that you'll cry on and laugh on and just have a good time with. And we see a lot of new characters and old characters, like Bo Peep, like I said. And what a great joy was seeing her back, because I really was happy when I saw her come back, because she is one of my top 10 favorite Toy Story characters. And let me tell you, she made a huge comeback in this movie for sure. And also, stick around for the post-credit scenes. That's another one. That's another reason you should go see this movie. Stick around for the post-credit scenes. I can't tell you what all happens, guys. You'll have to see the movie for yourself and see what I mean and why I tell you to stay after the post-credits. Trust me, they'll be worth it for sure, guys. Without a doubt, seeing those post-credit scenes will definitely be worth it. And that's it for my movie review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with everyone you know. And press the little notification bell at the bottom of my video to get notified when my next movie review is going to be. And be sure to follow me on the Stardust app at Amari106 for my latest movie/trailer reactions. Take care and God bless. Peace!